Hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Talk Nation. I'm your host Rob. This video we're going to do our review of the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay guys, welcome back. So this episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was titled The Magical Place. This was a very good episode. I mean, to come back from their break and start it off like this was great. Now we finally know what happened to Agent Coulson. So if you do watch the show, or if you're fairly interested in watching the show or revisiting the show, I encourage you pretty much not to watch this video because it's going to contain some pretty significant spoilers. So I'm going to give you a few seconds to leave. Okay, your few seconds are up. So now we know what happened to Coulson. That question has been answered for the most part in this episode. I thought it was a really, really good, one of the best episodes they've had. I did like the bridge very much. I felt, and I've said this many times before, I felt that ever since I.Spy episode that it's gotten better progressively. They had a couple of hiccups in between, but this one, again, they stepped it up a notch. Now, the thing of it is that what I liked about this episode was, for the first time, I actually gave a shit about S.H.I.E.L.D. And I thought it was brilliant what May did. It almost, at first I was kind of pissed at her, but then later on when you found out why she encouraged Sky's banishment off the plane, then you realize that it was a brilliant move. And she was absolutely right. Sky works perfectly outside the system. She's great at hacking. She's great at, excuse me, I'm losing the word here. Infiltrating. Thank you. She's very good at infiltrating from a computer standpoint, and that's what was great about this episode, is that she was the one to find out where Coulson was. Now, Coulson was being tortured because basically this organization, Centipede, wanted to know how he escaped death. They wanted to know if there was some secret that they could perhaps extract from his mind that would only further enhance their army, or the army they're trying to build of basically super soldiers. And we still hear about the clairvoyant. We don't know who the clairvoyant is. We do know that the clairvoyant took out what we thought was, I guess, his second in command, and now the woman in the flower dress, also known as Raina, seems to have taken over the reign of Centipede underneath the clairvoyant's command. There's still question as to whether or not the clairvoyant is legit. However, the clairvoyant does know some of the things that happened to Coulson in his life, so it's pretty interesting. Now, I thought this was a phenomenal performance by Clark Gregg. I think you saw a side of him that you hadn't seen before, and you saw a side of him that was very vulnerable. You saw a side of him that was very emotional. And yeah, that makes perfect sense when you're being tortured, but it's more than that. They tapped into his life. They tapped into his emotions. And now it's going to be interesting to see how he's going to turn out, knowing what Nick Fury did, what Nick Fury decided, and how the doctor, and his name escapes me, but the gentleman at the end, how he basically thought that what was done to him was inhuman. He thought that they were trying to act like gods, and in some ways they did. And it was so emotionally wrecking to see Coulson there begging to die, because what they were putting him through was extremely painful in so many different levels. I'm sure physically, emotionally, and then to implant a thought in him that the whole time that happened, he was in Tahiti on vacation. I mean, it's kind of fucked up. And when you think about it, that's what the government's all about. They look out for, I guess, their greater good, I guess if you want to put it that way. And it doesn't matter. This showed that Agent Coulson is also just another agent in some ways. And it's interesting to see if there's going to be any repercussions in the relationship between Fury and Coulson, because from what we understand, they seem to be fairly close, and Fury seems to be very, very looks highly upon Agent Coulson. So to put him through that just to keep him alive, I mean, sometimes you just got to learn how to let go. So it'll be interesting if that's going to play out in either the movies or on the show. More than likely, we might see some of that in the Age of Ultron. We might see how that plays out. In terms of the other characters, I mean, I like the way they went against the grain, basically. While everybody's following protocol, they're breaking it because their concern is getting Agent Coulson, which is awesome. And I thought it was really cool, again, that S.H.I.E.L.D was the main facilitator behind that. I thought they brought her into the fold a lot better this episode, than they ever have before. I think a couple episodes before this, they were kind of trying to force feed her to us. And over the last course of the episodes, she's kind of been hanging back, and I think that's fine. I think that's what because in the beginning of the series, she annoyed me. I didn't like her at all. And then once they started to fold her in the background and only bring her out when they needed her, I thought that was perfectly played, and they did it perfectly this time again. You know, the show has gotten so much better. It's unfortunate that it got off to the start that it did, because the people who gave up on the show, if they had stuck with it and they watch it now, it's gotten so much better. And you know, I'm definitely going to keep watching. I want to see what's going to develop with Coulson. I thought this episode was phenomenal. It was a great episode. It's also interesting to see now that Mike Peterson's still alive, and he's got the I-Spy cam in his eye. I mean, how that's going to turn out is, oh my God, I don't even know, because, you know, he still has his son, and now he's under the control of Centipede. He's got the centipedes on him. He's got the I-Spy. He's under their control, and he knows, or at least once the agents find out he's still alive, you know, basically the bottom line is this: once Centipede finds out that he's at any way, shape, or form compromised, they're going to kill him. And that's something you almost can't prevent. It's going to be difficult, and it's going to be interesting. So now we got Coulson knows what happened to him. Mike Peterson is in a big dilemma, and his son is, God only knows where his son is right now, who's taking care of him. And that's it. I mean, this is a very, very exciting show. I do apologize for making this or uploading this so late. It's been a busy week. I've been trying to get a lot of things up here, and the channel is rocking right now. So, but I wanted to make sure I got this up here for you guys who do watch the show. And yeah, and that's basically it. I thought it was a great episode. I thought the rescue was great. S.H.I.E.L.D and Coulson for me were top 2 performers in this show. In this particular episode, and very interesting. I'm very, very interested to see where this goes. I really hope they keep focusing on Centipede, because it seems whenever they have episodes where they kind of throw off Centipede a little bit, then it kind of becomes, you know, it's still good, but it's not great. But anyway, guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the review. I want to hear your thoughts on the show, and I'll see you next video.